ask if you want to come up and at the appropriate time, if you want to call our partners, Clerk Turner and Chief Warden Baird.
Hi, I'm Marty Flax, Public Safety, City of Cleveland. I'd just like to make a few introductions. In the back of the room, Commander Keith Salzer, in the 2nd District. Thanks for being here. And to my left or right, I have Deputy Chief of Police Leroy Morrow. Leroy, stand up. Of course, I'm joined here by Clerk of Courts, Earl Turner. I'll be brief, I'll split the time with the clerk here. For a number of years, the Division of Police and Public Safety have entered into conversations, had some discussions about creating a one-stop vehicle impound center. First, I'll tell you the problem, and I'll tell you what our recommended solution is. If you're involved in an accident here in the City of Cleveland, a tow truck under contract in the City of Cleveland will take your car and tow it to the impound lot. If your car is stolen, a tow truck under contract in the City of Cleveland will come and tow your car to the impound lot. In those cases where someone's arrested, the same thing happens. And the vehicles go down to the city's impound lot. When you want to get the car out, however, you don't go here. First, you go to the police headquarters building, the Justice Center, find a place to park, get inside, and hopefully you have the right documentation to get your car released. When you're done with the police, you go next door to the Clerk of Courts, and on weekends, you go to the different building, you go into the Justice Center towers. When you got everything paid for, you got the documentation and release, you come down here to the impound lot, you try and get your car out. If your car's running, it's great. If it's not running, you spend a whole afternoon trying to figure out how to get your car out of the lot. Our proposal is to create a one-stop vehicle impound center where citizens whose cars are stolen and recovered, towed and recovered, won't have to go to the Justice Center or Clerk of Courts, they will come right here. Our proposal is to create a building here, a modular building at the expense of the vendor, and assign the police officers who formerly work in the Justice Center and the Clerk of Courts personnel to work one location. So when a citizen wants to get his car out of the impound lot, he only has to visit one location. It's a customer service thing, and I think it's in the best interest of the community. This lot is, in our opinion, underutilized, but the timing is also very good. We have not yet signed our contract with the towers who do the towing on behalf of the City of Cleveland. So when we start looking at vehicles being taken to the impound lot, what we can do in the contract that we have with the towers is identify the route that they would take from any street that we would design and tell them what streets to avoid. So it's a good opportunity here for us to consolidate, make good use of our service. The clerk will assign personnel there, Division of Police will assign personnel, and we'll create an environment there that I think is more advantageous to the community. The operator will prepare for us a building of about 2,400 square foot, and as part of the contract, he will establish surveillance cameras for use by the staff at the lot itself as well. So not only will you get some police presence, they'll get some Clerk of Courts presence, you get some security enhancements, and most importantly, I think, to all of us is improving the quality of service that we give to the people who find themselves in a position where they have to get their car out of tow. Now, I'll defer here to the clerk. Of course, everybody knows the clerk. Everybody vote.
Just let me first of all say this is something that actually your councilman and I have been talking about for years. We didn't just kind of start this one-stop shop conversation a year ago. It's probably been about 10 years we've been having this conversation. And it started because, you know, people are coming to the clerk's office and they're complaining. It started with baseball games. People go to football games. They go to all kind of events. As the safety director said, it may be a stolen car, and then the race is on to get your car. So we feel that a one-stop shop is the best thing for the city of Cleveland, and it can be managed better. Also, we feel that people's cars won't be damaged. Once upon a time, there were cars that were being damaged in some of these lots. So we feel there'll be greater accountability there. And what we will do is take our staff, and I don't know if some of you don't know, we have an office inside of the police department on the first floor. It's all the way in the back. We're going to take those personnel and we're going to put them out in the one-stop shop location. It'll be the best thing for the people of the city of Cleveland. Because you know what? You come down to get your car, you already got a ticket. Now you got to pay again. You got to pay to go, and if you come during the day, you got to pay in a lot. If you don't pay, you got to get another ticket, and then it goes on and on and on. This way, we can service the people of the city of Cleveland. They won't have to pay for parking, and they won't have to be penalized twice. My parking administrator is Maria Vargas. She's the veteran. She's actually the one on my behalf with the city in the last couple of years, has been in those discussions. She's been doing an excellent job, and we're just ready to do it. I just think that when the people of the city of Cleveland see this, what we have been talking about internally, you'll be very, very pleased. Now, I know there's always been the issue of where. Where do we put it? We don't have a preference where that decision is up to the safety director in the city of Cleveland, but we're going to partner and play even a larger role in it, because right now we're working with the safety director to really make it one stop. Instead of you having to go police clerk, police clerk. We saw some vision of this a few years ago, and when we bidded out our new system in our parking violations department, we made sure that the design was there, that we could take it into one package, so you won't have to go to both locations. You just go to one place, get it released, and pay it at make it truly one stop. And then there's going to be a lot of things, extra things that the police can do, you know, in a one-stop shop location. I think it's great. Now, location is, I don't know if that's what some of the conversation is about. We don't have a preference. We would just like to do it.
Thank you.
Cost. What's the cost?
We're going to get to the cost in a second. We're going to ask questions. I just want to share something. We had initially looked at an area behind the post office on Orange Avenue, which is about 25 acres, where Zacline was, that was really contaminated land. When we first started talking about it, the idea was how to consolidate. Three things happened. One, a company bought that and actually moved jobs there, so they took that site out. Two, the city of Cleveland is now towing less cars overall among the 4 impound lots that exist than we have in the last 5 years. And so the whole nature of towing is changing. And so I appreciate you talking about the extra clerks personnel. I also appreciate the conversation about the police officers, who we really respect and appreciate here in Tremont. And obviously the cameras are a huge thing, not just for the lot, but also for the park. So we'll ask these guys a few questions in a second. Do you want to talk a little bit about the dog kennel? No. Okay, and then if we could get Don and Carrie up here as soon as you're done. Thank you, clerk. And then we'll get questions. Go ahead.
I'll get to the questions, but it's cost neutral. There's no additional cost to the city or to the clerk. It's utilizing our existing resources. And the enhancements at the lot are actually borne by the vendor himself, the operator.